What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sleep Atomic, and today we're reviewing She-Hulk Episode 2, Superhuman Law. From attorney at law to attorney for hire, there's a few engaging things happening. I don't know if it's because all the third wall breaking, like towards the end of the episode, but kind of feels like a little nod to all those shows that have like the different title at the beginning. This one has the attorney at law changed to attorney for hire because she just lost her job last episode. It also feels like a reference to Heroes for Hire, but I usually like it whenever any show does the beginning a little different each time. Shows they're trying, and then there's like a bunch of different people like on staff like working on it. And it looks like a bunch of people had different ideas, but they compromised to using all of them. But it's very like, uh, it seems kind of like unfinished, but it's really like making itself a part of the app. The intro to the title of the show, it has that Marvel Studios thing at the beginning, and the first episode didn't even have it before she was named, like this episode. It makes me think of like a DVD without a dust cover or any like the information for the case, but really it's like a part of this bigger Disney box that it's in. But again, like it being a Disney box because it's the Disney Plus app and website and stuff. It seems like more physical. It kind of like tricks me personally, like into like thinking it's like a building, or like I think of it kind of like a building, like a real place, to sort that mental idea that they kind of like present you, kind of like it unfolds out through the screen to you for another like full immersive effect, even if like you aren't like that kind of like viewer. Sometimes you're like that person's like, oh well, you're like aware of the set and like the cameras being moved around and stuff, and like, oh, this is the actor, not the character, or even just like that person that they presented to you, like Jen Walters. But there's enough of a touch of a lot of things just for you to be engaged, unless you're just not really in the mood to watch a show. But the bare minimum of someone wanting to watch it and then you watching it to you really liking She-Hulk, so you're watching it. Maybe the max would be you just being a Marvel fan so much that you're just kind of consuming it to support them, or just supporting your general interest in what they do. It's all very harmless, like, it's not making you think a single thing, but a lot of people are kind of used to that, so I'm sure it's not so uh abstract, even with the fourth wall breaking stuff. They're still trying to ease you into like however these people think or want to see things or want to show you. And it may take some time, and I'm here for it. So if they have a few seasons more than like most of the shows they have, I wouldn't mind. Just that long term getting to know someone, and you have plenty of time to do it, so it's just kind of like happening every now and then. There's no need to get to the point or anything. You're just like there to experience whatever with Jen. Although there is like several points being placed places. It's not wanting too much out of you. But after our slow intro, Jen's looking for a job as an attorney because the case with GL, K, and H kind of like had all that attention on She-Hulk, and her old firm, I think they call it, didn't want to have any extra attention on that, so she goes and gets another job, and eventually it's GL, K, and H hires her as a She-Hulk to her dismay, but it's a really high-paying gig, so. And then she's forced to go meet Emile Blonsky, the Abomination, with the little ear fins, and there's the very, very small reference to Shang-Chi with him in it also, with the little fight club, which I thought was nice. You didn't have to go see it to know why it was important to She-Hulk, at least, but it was still a Easter egg thing. Kind of that it's not expecting anything extra out of you, and you could be like a newcomer to it and just still enjoy all of it without having to like make this like referential leap or like emotional bond that's supposed to be the same no matter what still. And the whole Abomination fighting Wong scene was like another tie-in in itself with Doctor Strange, but it was supposed to be mainly for magic, but everyone was like thinking Doctor Strange instead, which was like, oh, okay. And other people were saying like it was the wing of mystical stuff of Marvel, which already seems like a lot just to be like, oh, that's the same as this. Like you're supposed to line that all up. But the Tim Roth little monologue about why he wasn't really a bad guy and was kind of like felt wrong that he was supposed to be helping really was pretty compelling to me. It was like all in his voice. I don't know if he meant it for something for him or Emile Blonsky or the Abomination, but it's pretty peak like emotional conveyance on his part. And after you like hit that point, you're like looking at Jen's face. It's like, oh, she must have been like actually convinced too. Like even the actor Tatiana Maslany. And then Jen actually says like how it was pretty convincing anyway before uh, the Hulk hangs up on her. And there's a nice lead off for the Hulk too, and he's on the Chitauri ship flying somewhere before he's out of cell range, which I thought was pretty funny. I talked to one person and they thought somehow the ship was extending the cell range, but he kind of like zips off just as the call was about to end anyway, but then doesn't get to say bye. But then after the news report that Abomination had somehow been outside of prison that whole time, and she was saying like how she had it in the bag. It ends the episode. But man, that was it seemed like longer than it was. The whole thing says it's 30 minutes, including the credits, and it just feels like it's had like a lot of content in it. so it didn't seem as short as it was. The whole thing didn't speed by until like I realized. I was like looking at the credits. I was like, oh wow. And then there's the whole thing with Jen's dad, like using her like she's like a forklift or something. But first she's like holding up the car, and she's like, and then she's holding up a TV for some reason because I guess her arm span, I suppose. I know I can't like confidently hold up my TV like against the wall for however long. And then she's carrying all those like 5 gallon, maybe like 20 gallon water jugs for like a water dispenser or water cooler thing. Kind of looks like an inside joke off that standing around the water cooler phrase. I'm not sure if like someone was like seeing if someone was in it, like through the credits, and then the end credits scene happened. A nice relatable end scene thing here. The next episode is called The People versus Emile Blonsky. It seems like it will be a nice like triumph as attorney for Jen. It kind of seems like there'll be a lot of people in it too. Yeah, this was Sleep Atomic, and I'm Alistair. I'll see you next time, and no one's told you yet. You look good. And it shows. 23, 10 toes down, glued to the concrete, and I do me, keep to myself to find my peace. Been ballin' a little bit, woke up feeling rich. Still remember days I had to grind to get a cent.